Hi guys, Everyday Flashlight Guy here, and I've got a treat for you today. If you're into high-powered pocket lights, or you're looking to pick up a new EDC light, or you're just a flashlight fan, the main light we're looking at today in unboxing is the S2R Baton from Olight. You can see there's a 1020 lumen, 18650 powered badass light. That's the main one we're looking at. We're also going to be comparing and contrasting that with this. Oops, I unboxed this so it's a little bit loose, unfortunately, which is the S1R Baton. And you may have picked up on the fact that we've already looked at that before. This is the S1R Baton I already own. This is the newest version. You can see slightly different packaging on the one on the left from the one I received previously. And the reason for that is we have a new Turbo S mode on here and some new options for powering it, so we're going to be contrasting. Let's get rid of this older guy for now, and we're going to be looking at these two. So first and foremost, let's get these guys unboxed. So let's look at the S2R Baton. As I say, it's an 18650 light, 153 meters throw, IPX8 waterproof as usual, 5-year warranty as with all Olights. What else do we say on here? It includes the very snappy magnetic charger. If you didn't see my review of the S1R before, we'll look at that. Lanyard, baggie, and battery. The battery's included with these, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and open this tape so we can see the back here. S2R Baton is a rechargeable version of the popular S2 Baton. Use traditional charging method Olight charged to the magnetic tail cap. Magnetic tail cap, of course, is a great feature on Olight's 18650 battery, up to 1020 lumens. Cree XML2 LED includes that 3200 mAh battery. Charger, blah blah blah. Flat tail cap and side switch operated, of course, as with pretty much all Olights. And you can see here the modes: turbo mode, 1020 lumens for 2 minutes, plus 190 minutes at 500. That is awesome. That is a long run time for 500 lumens, or a high of 500 for a straight 200 minutes. So very powerful. And of course you can go in that moonlight mode if that's what you need, for 0.5 lumens for 60 days. Pretty incredible specs there, really. And of course all the usual IPX8 waterproof, impact resistant, 1.5 meters, etc. So let's get this unboxed. And of course, as always, Olight packaging is really nice. Everything exactly where it should be. You open the top and it says straight away, read me, thank you. So let's do that. Let's open it and see what this says. It says how to unload the flashlight. It's even got instructions how to unpack this thing. That's how well thought through Olight products are. And it says, for first use, unscrew the tail cap and take off the insulating film. And every time I get an Olight in the post, and these are sent to me for review, so make of that what you will, but I'm being completely honest, the packaging in these is just incredible. Everything is so well thought out. It's maybe dumbing it down a little bit too much of anything, but I mean, you really can't beat it. Everything is so well designed, it all slots in perfectly, and things come out in an order that makes sense. So the next thing that comes out is a nice little plush kind of velvety baggie with Olight embroidery on it that you get with these rechargeable higher grade lights. Really nice little touch, that. Full instruction manual, we'll come to that if we need to. Don't know if we will. Who needs instructions, right? Normally when you receive the light, the pocket clip is actually clipped through the back here, but I have unboxed this just to have a look at it. So that's normally clipped through there. There's the light itself, which is very sexy indeed. And down the bottom here we have a little tab that says open. And I think we'll just try to look through the camera. There we go. Open that, and in here we have, we even have a little plastic film holding everything perfectly in place. We have a little lanyard which comes with all these Olights. Very nice, again, a little cushioned plush lanyard. Everything feels really high quality. These are made in China, of course, but they are extremely high quality and much better put together than a lot of other flashlights that I have experienced. And read into that what you will again. But the charger, I think, is really a nice feature in these. It's a USB charger, so of course it will plug into any laptop, any wall outlet that has USB. Basically anything you can power from. The battery pack that I'm using right now to power my phone, all of that, and it just has this little disc here which snaps onto the magnetic tail cap of the light, and off you go, you're charging. Lights up red when it's charging, goes green when it's done. Couldn't be simpler. really, really nice. So that's a lovely feature. Let's move all this to the sides. We're going to have a look at the light itself. Beautiful looking light as always with the Olights, all black with the nice kind of cyan to mid blue highlights, deep carry pocket clip, nice knurling on the body there, and tail cap, flat tail cap with a magnetic of course, blue bezel, clicker side switch for all operation. So let's go ahead and unscrew that tail cap as the instructions told us, and in here we find insulating film. Get rid of that, and in here we find our nice very chunky Olight 3.6V 3200 mAh 18650 rechargeable. High drain devices. Okay, so that comes with all these, which is really nice touch that they do include batteries for these, because those are expensive. Rechargeables are expensive, and so side switch, usually you will just hold it down for a second and that will go into moonlight mode, as you can see. Hold it down again for another second, it will bump up, bump up, bump up, bump up, and then back down to standard. Now I don't know if this one has a lock feature. Let's check. If you just hold this, it'll go into moonlit and it'll go off again. So that is it now locked. So if I press this, you should see it will just flash the light, but it won't come on unless I hold this down for a good second. It will then tell you it's unlocked and it'll be back into moonlit mode. So it has a lockout feature, which is really, really nice if you are pocket carrying this, of course. So there we have it. That's pretty much the basics of the S2R. Let's go ahead and just quickly unbox this S1R, the newer version as well, just to show you that. Again, all the same on the back. The S1R using the XML2 LED again, but this one is powered, let's see, where's the specs on the battery. It's powered by a 550 mAh RCR123A rechargeable battery, so you put out 900 lumens in turbo. So this new one, as opposed to the older box here, let's just compare and contrast. The old one here on the right had a 900 turbo and 300 lumens for 55 minutes after that half a minute of turbo, and then you went down to 300. The new one has either 900 for 1.5 minutes, so significantly longer than this, followed up by 50 minutes of 300, or you can go straight to turbo of 600 for 1.5 minutes with 55 minutes of 300. So this newer light basically gives you more options as how you want to use your output, depending on whether your situation is every day, or whether it's when you're out camping, or whether it's just around your home or yard, you're trying to find an intruder, whatever it may be, or whether you're in an emergency situation, you need absolutely maximum power, even if it's only for 1.5 minutes, it gives you that option. Or you want the slightly lower turbo for a little bit longer. So this new Turbo S, Turbo High, whereas before it was just Mode 1, Mode 2, Mode 3. So that's basically how it is, and you can see on the packaging there, they're highlighting this Turbo S, but all the usual stuff, IPX8, 5-year warranty, 1.5 meters impact resistance, all the usual stuff. And I know I'm talking quickly here, guys, but there's so much to cover with these lights. They're really very detailed. There's a lot of specs to get into, the usual readme and stuff. Let's just get rid of that because we already went through it on the previous light. Again, we have lovely soft baggie, instructions, blah blah blah, our new S1R, and let's just have a quick look at this in comparison to the old one, see if there's anything to differentiate it, and I don't really know that there is. I will know the difference by the serial numbers on there, probably because you got that treble 1 at the end is the newer one. Other than that, they look absolutely identical, I would say. Yep. So let's go ahead and unscrew the tail cap on this. Again, lovely design in these lights. They just look and particularly feel solid. They feel very high quality. Look at that stubby little battery, but putting out so much power. Since I got my first version of the S1R Baton, it's basically not really left my pocket as an EDC light. Again, hold the side button to put it into moonlit mode. If we turn it back off just by a short press and hold it to go into moonlit, and then keep holding it, it should go into lockout. You press that, you'll see a little glowing redness there. That basically says it's in lockout mode. So again, that was something I failed to touch on in the original review. That's why I'm covering it so thoroughly with these ones. The S1R and S2R both have that lockout. The S2R, of course, lights up the actual LED rather than the button. I think the button lighting up is actually a nicer feature, but very cool to have that lockout mode for pocket carry and for it to show you that it is in lockout mode. And again, you just hold that and it goes back into moonlit. Hold it, bump up through the levels, and back to start. So I think what we should do now is probably just do a quick comparison of these two side by side in terms of size. And let's just get in a standard, well, first of all, let's try and clear some of this junk out of the way here so the camera can actually focus on what we're looking at. Get rid of all that. My desk is absolutely cluttered here, guys. So let's look at these two lights in comparison with, say, this AA battery here, just so we can get an idea of scale. There you go. And I had intended to do an actual beam test on these in this one video that we're doing right now, but unfortunately it is absolutely pissing rain, if you'll forgive my French. So it's not a good night for doing a flashlight test. And if you watched one of my previous videos, I think a couple of videos back in my feed, you'll see that I actually have started the process of testing these lights and showing the actual beam strength and so on in the real world. We've laid out an area where we're going to test them. It's just a case of getting out at night and actually doing that. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing it in this video, because it's not suitable to do it at this time, I will actually take all the Olights that I have so far, and there's a bunch now, and we'll go out and do a whole Olight test vid and just compare all the beam distances and how well they perform in the real world all together. So I think that'll be quite good. We'll go through that and show each light briefly before we do the test and see what we can come up with. And then I might do the same thing for like the through nights and any other flashlights that come in. So we will come to the real world stuff. Just be patient, guys. It's a process and I don't have a lot of time for this, but we will get to it. So when you put these two lights side by side, it really is little and large. This one, not quite twice as long, but certainly 1 3/4 or 2/3, I would say. Oops, that one's still on. Turn it off briefly. Same diameter in the bezel, I would say. Slightly smaller on this one, the S1R. Magnetic tail caps, of course, resisting each other there. Both deep carry pocket clips, a little bit deeper on the S2R, but both really, really nicely designed lights. All the usual kind of grippy texture on them that you come to expect from Olight. Nice side clicker switch. Yeah, just really, really cool looking design. Both feel very solid in the hand. Not a lot of weight difference, to be honest. A little heavier on this, of course, being that larger form factor, but both really, really nice lights. Quickly cut off the lights here just to show you cycling through. So I'm going to use the S2R here and hold down the side switch for a second or so, which puts us into moonlit mode. Hold down again into low, medium, and I guess we're going, it's just cycling through them here. And if you actually hold down the side switch, it will cycle through itself. If you cut off the light and just quickly double tap the side switch, it'll go straight to turbo. So that's a straight into turbo mode. If you turn it off and go triple tap the side switch, it'll go straight to strobe. So strobe warning, guys. There you go. And we'll just do quickly the same with the S1R. Oops. So if you just do a quick press the side switch, it will do memory and it will go back to the last mode it was in, which is obviously turbo here. If I cut that off again and hold down the side switch for a second, it will go into moonlit. Hold it down again, it will cycle through its modes. Short press to turn it off, double tap to go into turbo. There you go, straight into turbo. And turn it off and strobe warning again. If I triple tap, it will go in strobe mode. There you go. So all the modes on these are really quickly accessible. Let's get the lights back on here so I can see what I'm doing. All the modes are really quickly accessible, and yeah, there's not really a lot to say about these other than they're super high quality. They feel very solid. Everything is where it should be. The design's lovely. The packaging is excellent. The stuff it comes with is really cool. The fact that they give you these nice little plush baggies is just a really, really nice touch. And let's be honest, you are paying about $65 US on Amazon.com for this one. The S1R Baton and the S2R is currently, I think, about $74. But that is for this full kit that you get in this box here, which is your light, bag, battery, charger, and all your lanyard and all your extras and stuff. So it is a well thought out, well put together package. I think these chargers are awesome. Someone did comment on the last video I did on the S1R, the original version, to point out that cool as this is, it might be nice if they had done just a regular mini USB plug in on the back, because then it's more universal. You can use any cable that you might have lying around, and that's a really good point. I was kind of blinded by the fact of how cool this is, snapping on the back there. I mean, doesn't that look wicked? In terms of chargers, I mean, how cool is that? But it's not really that practical, because unless you have this cable with you, you're not charging this light. So I will keep one of these in my vehicle, and I'll have one of these cables in my vehicle, I'll have one at home, etc. But if you only have one of these lights and one of these cables, it's not super practical unless you're carrying this in your EDC bag or whatever. You're not going to be able to recharge your light when you're out and about unless you have a external unit you can take the battery out and put it in. So that's a really good point, and it is definitely a drawback, but at the same time, I do like the magnetic feature of this, and you can also, the pro to kind of outweigh that con, I guess, is that you can actually use the USB powering this to not only charge, but also to run the light, if you see what I mean. So if you have an external USB battery pack, you can have this plugged in and be using it at the same time. So say you were in an emergency situation, or you were camping or whatever, and you're out and you need a light, once your battery runs down in this, you can also use any external battery pack you might have with you, whether it be a booster pack for a vehicle. That a lot of these packs these days have USB plugins. So there you've got a huge power source to power a very powerful light. So you potentially got a lot of runtime there, albeit if you're running on turbo it might get a little bit hot, but you do potentially have a lot of power there to run your light. So that's kind of the flip of that. Yeah, the fact that this is a very model specific charger is maybe a bit of a drawback, but it is a nice touch nonetheless, I think. So other drawbacks for these, I can't really come up with any right now. Price for me, I mean, I'm very lucky to be in the position where they Olight send me these lights for review, and I'm very grateful for that. But $65 is probably not something I'd be rushing out to spend on a flashlight. I'd probably spend that on a knife first, to be honest. But I do think they are value for money if you are serious enough about the quality of light that you want with you, or you want in your EDC, or you want in your survival bag, or whatever it may be. I mean, just look at the size of that light there. What else do I have lying around here? Not a very common knife, but there's a Spyderco Techno, which is a very small knife, albeit quite thick. Look at the size of that. You know, it's even smaller form factor than Techno, and it's such a powerful light, and really has so much functionality. So also an excellent vehicle light, or backup emergency light for your vehicle, because it has a magnetic tail cap. You need to change a tire or something like that, you just snap this onto the body of your car or your truck, and you have an instant very powerful light source. So lots going for these guys. I'd say about $75 and about $65 on Amazon.com. I will put links in the description, all the usual stuff. We will get out and do that practical test soon, I promise. And yeah, that's about it. I think 18 minutes of waffling about flashlights, albeit I've been talking quite quickly, is probably enough. So yeah, very excited to keep trying out the S2R, and we'll do some more in-depth stuff on that in future. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back with more videos soon, and yeah, cheers.